And a day after the landmark US-Russia talks in Saudi Arabia on the war in Ukraine, Russia targeted the southern Ukrainian city of Odesa, leaving tens of thousands of residents without power and heat amid the freezing cold. It was an opportunity enough for Volodymyr Zelensky to turn up his censure of Moscow. Locals speaking of multiple drone strikes on residential buildings late on Tuesday. Close to 500 houses have been damaged. The Odesa mayor saying 14 schools, a children's clinic and several hospitals have also been hit. The Ukrainian president wrote on social media that 160,000 Odesa residents are without heat and electricity. 4 people are reportedly injured, one of them seriously. Significantly, the attack comes in the backdrop of the US-Russia talks held in Saudi Arabia, like we said. US President Donald Trump had exuded confidence of a peace deal, despite Ukraine itself not being invited to the talks. Russia had claimed that its attack was on military targets in Ukraine and not civilians or the energy infrastructure that affects them directly. Volodymyr Zelensky lashed out at Russia on social media. Never forget, he said, that Russia is ruled by pathological liars. He said Moscow cannot be trusted and must be pressured. Not just that, Zelensky also claimed that all US President Donald Trump had actually done was pull Putin out of isolation. He said Trump was living in a disinformation bubble, though he did say he wanted to end the war by the end of this year.
President Trump, with great respect for him as a leader of the people, which we respect very much, the American people who constantly support us, unfortunately, lives in this disinformation space.
And the Kremlin, meanwhile, came out with praise for Donald Trump for openly blaming the Ukraine conflict on moves to admit Kyiv into NATO. The Russian foreign minister trained his guns on the Biden administration for what he called a pushy line of dragging Ukraine into NATO. Trump's special envoy on Ukraine, Keith Kellogg, meanwhile, reached Kyiv to gather Zelensky's reaction to the meeting in Saudi Arabia. Zelensky himself has postponed his visit to the country. The European Union has agreed on fresh sanctions against Russia, the 16th round. They will be finalized at a meeting of EU foreign ministers on Monday, on the 3rd anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. All eyes now on a Putin-Trump meeting, which the Kremlin says may even happen later this month. In fact, Moscow has called this the first step towards a resolution, stressing that a peace deal itself could take a long time. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.